Hi there guys, we're not in Geneva today. I decided to come down to the south of France, so I'm going to give you a little tour around some of the towns I'm going to. So this is Uzès, or Uzès, however they pronounce it in France. Yeah, I thought I'd start here because I have been here before, and they do this really strange like bull run through the town, and there's none of that going on today, which is quite nice for me to see it in a touristy way along with yourselves. So I'll just give you a view of this. It's the two towers here. It's one of the famous things in the town. It's actually my favourite small town in this area because I don't know if you know Provence or those parts of France in the south where you've got loads of small towns which are famous for famous artists and just a more relaxed kind of retirement vibe. But this one's my favourite because it's kind of like an all year round town. There's always people here and there's music festivals, things going on. It's not so small either. Now if you're a fan of really tall Dutch people, then come to the south of France because there's cloggies everywhere. Hello Dutch people if you're watching. So let's just try and find some Dutch people. So the actual bull run was down this road here. The French people are scared of cameras. I've noticed that. I don't know why. It seems to be a phenomenon here. Right, so this is actually where the bull run came down. Parking, let's talk about that quickly. There's a big parking centre there and it's €1 for 30 minutes. No, you were fine. It was the old man who was the older generation, the French ones. They're quite funny here. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Do you speak English?
Little.
Do you live here? Vous habitez ici?
Oui.
C'est bon ou non? C'est très bon. C'est cher?
Ça va.
Ça va?
Touristique, ça va. Ouais.
Touristique. Ok, c'est les gens anglais, américains, c'est...
Les Suisses, ils viennent beaucoup.
Ah,
ouais.
Suisse.
Les Suisses, les Allemands.
Ouais, les Allemands et les Flamands.
Mais vous connaissez la Suisse? Non?
Pas tant que ça.
Non,
Le chocolat.
Ah, mais Genève, c'est très belle.
Ah bon?
Oui, oui.
Bah, on ira un jour.
Mais ici aussi, oui.
Merci.
Okay, bonne journée. It's not often I get to practice my very bad French, but there's a lot of Swiss people here. And look, ironically, there's a Canton Fribourg number plate there. So yeah, if you watch the channel, normally we're walking around Geneva or wherever. There's going to be a few places in the south here. I'm actually thinking of going to the Spanish border as well. So the French-Spanish border. Someone told me there's a really weird town there, which is basically like a giant brothel. And because I said brothel and then Geneva popped up. And as you know, my Geneva red light district video did very well, so thank you for getting us up to 1,000 subs. That video actually pushed us over the edge. So I'm going to spin you around so you can see a bit of this. There are little shops everywhere as well. So one thing I do like to do is compare some prices. So we kind of walked around the outside of the old town there, and just so I could show you where the bulls ran down. That was the whole point of that, but now we're in the nice bit. So how much is an ice cream? Pretty much, the reason why I turned you around then was because I couldn't actually see the prices myself. But they had crepes, paninis, all that kind of stuff, and it was €5 for one scoop, which is quite expensive. So it's loads of little shops like this. Remember, we're looking for Dutch people in this video. I'm sure we'll find one. And there's lots of lavender stuff here as well. So if you like lavender, because obviously they've got the lavender fields around here. There's a lot of English people here as well, I just realised. I want to really... Oh, you see, this is actually a Swiss place here. We're heading towards the main square, which is very pretty. And they've got these little fans shooting things out as well. So let's just have a look at the cocktails. So for a spritz, it's €8. For a Hugo, which is actually the Swiss and German version of a spritz, it's quite nice actually. A bit of gin in there, elderflower, it's very tasty. That's €8. A mojito, €8. A beer is €6 for a pint, and just a standard coffee is €4. So it's not too bad, much cheaper than Geneva. And this is the main square. If you go, it's kind of like a big circle. If you go down there, you end up coming round in that circle we just did. And now we're going to do another circle. But through this bit, I'm just going to give you point of view because it's really nice. It's very pretty. And let me know below if you've been here. Airbnb wise, if I were you, if you were coming here, I would try and do 2 or 3 towns in one day. So you could stay in Nîmes, come here and go to Arles all in the same day, or go to Arles, come here and then go and see the Pont de Gare, which is not far away from here. It's actually just down the road, 10 minutes. It's not free, by the way, you've got to pay for that. So this is the main square, this nice fountain here. They've got lots of these plane trees everywhere. Everything's written in English, which is quite handy. Even the parking was in English as well. And yeah, there are some English people over there. It's weird for me because I haven't vlogged in my own country yet. So when I hear it, it's weird. I prefer to speak to foreigners. I don't know why. My favorite people to speak to are Americans. Hello Americans, because you're my biggest viewers. Thank you so much. And what is it about your obsession with Geneva Americans? It's bizarre. Is that because of the UN? Something to do with the New York connection there? Right, we're going to get a bit lost now. The last time I was here, it was rammed. It was really busy. So I think we'll go this way. You see, I just made the mistake those tourists are making. You see, basically you just get lost. There's nothing down there. The clue is the big van in the way. That's but people are still tempted. It's very pretty. I think I said at the beginning it's my favourite town. Because some of them, they have a big name because of like a famous artist painted it or something. But when you get there, it's really small and it's rammed with tourists. There's no parking. Here, like I said, it's a bit bigger. There's a lot of tourists, but there's more people coming throughout the year, so it's less just in the summer. And yeah, it looks like the water's pretty fresh here. I nearly said a joke, something like, oh, that's not water, that's like dog piss or something, but she didn't look like she'd find that funny. So we're back to the road. Remember the road I said where all the bulls came down? Let me just cross before I get run over. That is this road. So if you want me to give you a... You basically drive around in circles until you find a parking space. That is, and they have the time limits on the things here. Sometimes I forget that I'm doing a travel channel and it's not just me rambling about stuff. Although some of you like that, so... It's 15 minutes in these zones here. So if you want to stay for longer, make sure you're not in a 15-minute zone. This road looks super nice, by the way, down here. As with all old towns, they've got these bollards here, so be careful as well because they come up and down like yo-yos. That there, to me, is, I love those kinds of streets. And the temperature is bloody nice, it's July. So yeah, I think we're going to go back round here because this building looks nice. And I am going to Arles as well, which is where Van Gogh chopped his ear off. You've got to go there. This is pretty cool. So this is the mairie actually, here. And then this is very nice. And yeah, basically we're going to have a little look down round here and then we've basically done the town. So if you're thinking, if you're like me, you can fit 4 or 5 of these towns in a day. You just pick which one you want to have your breakfast at, your lunch at, your dinner at, and you pick one as your like hub. So if it was me, I would pick Avignon or Arles as my hub, and then I would go to all of these towns, because there's no point in booking a 3-day holiday here unless you just want to sit around in that square I just showed you. There's nothing else to do here, in my opinion. Let's walk down this little street here. It's just another example of pretty little streets. In Antibes, which I've done a few videos on the south of France, so check out the France playlist. In Antibes, I stumbled across the most Instagrammed road in Antibes by accident, and they were all there with their cameras, all the Chinese tourists. But these are beautiful little streets. I mean, look at this is the south of France to me, this image here. And I've always loved France. I think for holidays it's such an amazing place because you've got the Haute-Savoie area for the winter, and then you've got the south, and I'm really looking forward to going in the Mediterranean Sea. So if you want to see some more France, you can subscribe because there's a few more videos coming. As with everything in France though, they drive like maniacs. There's speed cameras everywhere, and now they have police hiding in the hedges like they do in England with the radars. Very steep, not very disabled friendly, actually that's a good point. If any of you know what this is called, I'll be impressed in the comments. Right. This is called Le Barry, which sounds very English to me. But I think we're gonna go back up here. But if you're new to the channel, by the way, this is it. I don't like to edit because I like to give you the reality. When people edit, they kind of cut out like Le Barry, which is quite a cool fact. There's a staircase called Le Barry in Uzès. It's very arty here. See, this is the future artwork that will make this town famous, not Picasso or not all the others. It's this, it's modern art. So basically, they all look similar, these towns. They always have construction as well. The internet's very bad in France, in these areas, because they're still not on the fibre optic. But they're catching up, as you can hear. So my plan now is to go to Arles. So I paid for an hour and a half parking here. I had a drink, I'm doing this video, and then I'm allez vas-y off to Arles. So yeah, it's a must if you're down in this area. Definitely in my top 3. So my top 3 would be in the small town region, so not including bigger towns like Marseille or Nice. I would have to say Saint-Rémy de Provence, which I have filmed. Then here could be joint first. Yeah, I'd say those two and Cassis, which is near Marseille. So it's in a different area of France, but that's very pretty. They're my 3 favourites. And everything's on sale. I'm really hoping I get time to go to Nîmes, because they've got a really, really nice garden there. It's very pretty. But you know, for me, a holiday is seeing as much as I possibly can in one go, not just kind of lazing around. I like to do that maybe one day. So we're back to the tower again, the castle over there. But as one of you wrote in the comments, I'm a bit aléatoire, a bit all over the place. But I suppose that's good if you want to do this kind of thing, because you don't want me just sitting there getting drunk, do you? If you ever want to do that, but write in the comments if you just want an afternoon of me drinking all day. Wow, this is pretty. This is very pretty. Does remind me a bit of Antibes as well, actually, the old town of Antibes. So we're nearing the end, ladies and gents. Thank you so much, like I said, for all the comments. There's a lot of new buildings going on here, actually, a lot of new shops. So they do have hotels here. This is the reception here. Looks nice, actually. It's got a 9.2 rating on hotel.com. I'm not sure what it's called. What's the name of this hotel?
Hotel
Antrag. Are you American?
Can you tell?
Yeah, your pronunciation is better than mine. I didn't even attempt it. I'm doing this for American and British tourists.
You are?
Yeah, so your information is valid. Thank you.
We are very excited about this hotel. It looks awesome.
Why did you book Uzès? Is it because
Because I'm here for a reunion de famille.
Okay.
At a family estate nearby.
Right. Yeah.
And 170
Really?
French and American people.
Oh wow,
So
that'll
very
be a lot
fun.
of wine then. Yeah.
Oh, and cheese.
Yeah. Well, have a nice trip.
Thank you.
Bye.
So long.
So yeah, there we go. There are Americans here. We were looking for a cloggy. That was the that's a Dutch person, but we found an American instead. I love Dutch people, by the way. There's lots of them in Geneva now as well. And Canton Vaud, you know, certain nationalities prefer different cantons. I've noticed that. In Geneva in August, we get a lot of Saudis coming. Why am I talking about Geneva in the south of France? But yeah, the Saudis come because it's too hot in Saudi Arabia. But now it's getting so hot in Europe, they don't know where to go, do they? They'll have to go to the North Pole. Ah, talk of the devil and they shall appear. That is a Dutch car there. But anyway, that's like a little thing I've noticed. Lots of people from Belgium and lots of people from Holland. And we're back on the road where and the UK as well. So we're back on the road where the bulls go round. And just a little tip actually, I don't know if many of you know this, but if you're driving through anywhere really, if you use the Waze app, it tells you where the speed cameras are, the radars are. And in France, there's a lot of radars. And it's also very expensive on the toll. So you don't want to get like a double whammy. So I would definitely download that app. All roads lead back towards the centre square. So you can basically get completely lost here, but don't forget where your car is, which is what I'm now trying to work out whilst doing this vlog. So everything goes back towards there. I think we'll end it at this arch because I've actually forgotten where I've parked. But that was Uzès. I hope you enjoyed it. It's very easy, chill town. That guy just waved at us. People are very friendly in the south of France. In Haute-Savoie, they're a bit more reserved, but as soon as you go down past, what's the name of that place where all the traffic always is? I've forgotten the name of it, but as soon as you go down to the south, it's a lot more chill. And actually this is quite good because we're ending it at the main parking spot here. So the main parking zone is actually there. And if you have a bigger vehicle, be very careful in France. This is another travel tip for you, because some of them are well, they can be as low as 175, I've seen them. So if you're 175, 180 and you've got a roof rack, you can't go in there. And trust me, I got stuck in the Mozart parking in Nice and I had a real nightmare getting the top off. And you know, it's always strange. I came here 2 years ago and I parked where that lorry is up there. They're always doing something in the south. Anyway, that was Uzès. I'm off to Arles now, so thank you very much. I've made this video really long, I don't know why, but cheers. If you watch to the end as well, you're the best people, and you can write blue, because I find that funny if someone writes blue in the comments. Anyway, cheers guys, bye.